some time in our lives, we all needed help. Doesn't matter who you are. As a youngster, as I mentioned earlier today, I had a very difficult childhood with my mother dying early. My brother's in the last World War at 17, my sister's at boarding school, and my father's working for $100 a month. 12,000 feet underground, and I had to travel an hour and a half to school, an hour and a half back. My dad asked me one day, because he, being an employee of the mine, he was able to play on the mine golf course for $25 a year. And one day he said, come and have a round of golf. I said, not for me. I was playing football and cricket and track and swimming, and I said, that's a sissy's game, not for me. Thank goodness I went with him. And the bug got me immediately. And I think the one thing that I learned very early in life, that golf was a great lesson in life. You have to be courteous. You have to learn to accept adversity, because golf punishes you all the time. That golf just keeps hammering you. And it teaches you to be kind to people. It's a lesson that's you learn automatically when your mother dies when you're 8 years of age, and you've got to fend for yourself. Adversity is probably the finest thing that can happen to you. At the time you don't think it, you're reluctant to want to have it, obviously, but I think adversity is the finest thing that can happen to anybody for betterment of your character. Coming over here, you're not an American citizen, and I've always found the American gallery is very, very nice and polite, but it is a tough job when you've got to play against them in their home country. But I loved that, you see. I really enjoyed that. When I came over here, the life that I had, I made a comparison. I said, you know, I'm going to try, and I am going to beat Arnold, and I am going to beat Jack. And then I had all the demonstrations for years. I remember at the PGA at Akron, Ohio, Raymond Floyd beat me by a shot, I think. And I had telephone books thrown in my back, ice in my eyes, screaming on short putts, throwing balls between my legs, charging me on the green. Very difficult circumstances. But due to the life that I'd led, I was ready for it. I could accept it. And it was I had a great apprenticeship. And so coming over here, it was a big challenge, but not as big a challenge that I'd experienced as a young man.
I've got my driver in my hand. Put it right up against your shoulders. Now this is a good drill for spine angle. We're trying to keep that spine angle nice and straight. So what you're going to do is go to your backswing, put the head of the club right on the ball, and then rotate the other way and put the butt of the club on the ball. So what you're going to feel is a nice shoulder rotation. Plus, this will help you develop proper spine angle, so you're in that proper setup when you begin. The second tip that I have is the Gary Player drill. I'm sure you've always seen Gary Player swing. As he goes through the ball, he always takes a couple steps forward. That's because as a kid, he kept falling back and couldn't get the weight off the right leg. So he developed this drill to help him move forward to the left leg, and then he took 3 steps down the fairway. So these are just a couple little tips that will help you in your game.
With our new Nike driver, the engineers developed a golf club that would raise the launch angle and lower the spin rate via radical geometry. The large power band in the back pulls back the center of gravity on the golf club and places it lower in the golf club also, which gives us a higher launch and lower spin. Ideal conditions for a tour player.